No, but actually, if I like the next Nintendo Power issue, I'm probably gonna subscribe because it's like $20 for 12 issues, which is a year's worth of issues, which isn't bad. Because you're basically getting like 8 issues free. Even the advertisement kind of says that. Game Informer, it's Mason. How much is it on the as a cover price?
$7 per issue.
$7. That's about as much as Xbox. $7. I think Xbox is $8. But I think I might subscribe to Game Informer also, if just for the simple fact that instead of buying Xbox, even though it comes with a free DVD, CD thingy, no offense, but I remember what happened with my PlayStation Undergrounds. They just kept like stacking up, and they didn't come with covers either, so they were stacking up one on top of the other. So yeah, but I don't have PlayStation, so I don't know. Either I'll get the Xbox one or I'll get Game Informer. What do you think? What do you think, Mason? Should I get Game Informer or should I get Xbox?
You should get Game Informer.
Sloan, would you say Game Informer is worth it over the Xbox magazine?
Yeah, Game Informer.
Okay, so then then it's settled right there.
I don't really take sides. You can get whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
Yeah, because you got the Xbox magazine, Smash. What do you think?
I got the Xbox and I got a Game Informer. Because the Game Informer I have a subscription to, but the Xbox magazine, where my dad works, there's this guy that he knows. He always gives him the magazines for free. So he just brings them home.
So what do you think of the Xbox magazine then, since you're the only one here that gets it?
They're both good, but if someone were to hold the gun up to my head and say, if you had to choose a magazine before I shoot your goddamn nuts off, you better give me a magazine right now, I would say Game Informer, but they're both good.
Alright, so... Oh, well. Ellie, what magazine would you get? You don't have Xbox. You'd say Nintendo. No, I got a better idea. What would you say, Nintendo Power or Game Informer?
I would say Nintendo Power.
Okay, so you're a Nintendo. I gotta be honest, I've actually browsed through Nintendo Power. It's not just reviews and stuff. There actually are hints and stuff still in the magazine. And I actually voted in a poll that's going to be in the next issue that's coming out next week for Nintendo Power, so I'm looking forward to that. And now that we have a gaming site, these magazines are kind of like windows and things we could use, A, for the podcast, and B, just to know what's going on in the gaming world, because Lord knows the comic... You know, I figured it out.
Yeah, but Chris, there's also something else. It's called the Internet.
Yes, and the Internet is full of shit half the time. Have you been on Wikipedia? I'll make you bet...
I don't do Wikipedia.
Go on Wikipedia and I'll make you bet. You look up Whistlethorpe, you'll find Kevin.
Well, I'm actually gonna... I want to see what pops up. Hold on. I'm doing it right now.
It's Wizzlethorp.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Wow, one of your videos actually came up because Whistlethorpe is in the description.
Yeah!
Let's see what else we got. Transcript of show 17. I don't know what that is. That's all fucking German. Oh my god.
You mean I made up a German word?
Okay, well, it's not really German, but it's a bunch of random shit. I don't even know what it said. I don't even know if it's German, but it's not English.
All right, moving along. You know what? I figured it out. A lot of people have been saying, comic books are going out, and I was sitting down at work one day. By the way, camp started, and it is fun. I'm just majorly exhausted at the end of the night, which is why video uploading is uber slow. But by tonight, everything should be up. I already posted the new Super Mario Brothers show, getting new sound effects. I'm looking forward to the next season. But anyway, the reason comic books are dying is because nobody wants to read them anymore. Because back in the times like my parents' time, my mom's time, or like back then, there weren't video games. There was no such thing as a video game console or a Nintendo. All they had to do for recreation was read. That's why comic books were so popular back then. Then, the wonderful invention of video games came out. Now all kids and teenagers want to do, even adults. I know a 38-year-old man who is on the Xbox, trolling around on the Xbox, might I add. I will not give any names, but I'm sure if you're watching this, you know who you are. He plays everything. Now, he's not just like me where I do first-person shooters. He does everything. Every type of game you can imagine. But, and I don't mean he's a troll or a hacker or anything. He just likes to go around and, do the air hump and the teabagging. But beside the point, everybody's so focused on video games and everything else that nobody gives a shit to read a comic book anymore. How many people can you say own Grand Theft Auto Vice City as opposed to how many people own comic books from that time? Has read a comic book from that time?
A lot of more people own Grand Theft Auto, I'm sure.
Comic books are going out because the population of interest in kids and teenagers nowadays are video games. Revolutions like the Wii U next year and the Xbox 360 this year and the Wii that's been out for years now also and the Nintendo 3DS overshadow. People don't want to read anymore. They want to go out and buy a cartridge or most of the time a CD and they want to pop it in their gaming system and go full at it because nowadays you could shoot a person's freaking head off and enjoy the blood splatter all over the place. So who gives a crap? Who gives a crap about reading comics? I'll tell you what. Most people don't, but thank you God, and I thank you God up above that there is still a comic book reading community, and I'm happy and pleased to say there are still kids that read comic books that will grow up and be teenagers and then adults that read comic books, which will then go back to kids again. But unfortunately, due to video games, the comic book readers have literally been cut, if not in half, more than in half, due to the fact that video games have come so far and everybody would rather just go around shooting people and teabagging people instead of just picking up a frickin' book and reading. Now look, I'm not saying comic books are like the best reading material out there, but I mean at least it's a form of entertainment that I wish more people would enjoy because believe me, it is enjoyable without the killing and the blood. And you know what? There is another form that actually, I forget the name of it. Mason, maybe you remember the name of it. What other kind of form of comic book? I'm thinking it comes from Japan.
Manga.
Manga,
Yes, but here's the question. Are you a manga mainstream fan or are you a manga independent fan? Now, mainstream is something like...
Naruto.
Yeah, like Naruto, and independent is something that nobody's ever heard of and is not on TV.
I'm kind of a little bit of both. Like, I collect both. I collect more One Piece though, so I guess I'm more mainstream.
I'm more mainstream too. I've done Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon when I was a kid, and I've done a little bit of Inuyasha. I've read a lot. You know, when you go to Barnes and Noble, who wants to buy the book? You can literally just sit there and like sift through it in less than an hour. So I've read through a lot of mangas when my mom was, as a kid, when my mom was shopping for her books. I just sat in the comic section, and I didn't read the comic books at the time. I read the actual mangas because I never bought mangas, so I figured read them while I'm there. I have to say, a few though I like. The only problem is reading from back to front, and of course, the one thing that everybody's going to shoot me for saying, but it's in black and white.
You don't like it for being in black and white?
No, I like it. No. Don't get me wrong. I love mangas. I just maybe if it was at least from front to back instead of back to front, because I get confused sometimes on what panel is next, and like I'll accidentally skip a panel, and they'll be explaining something that I would have understood better if I read the other panel before it, and then I read that panel and I say, okay, now I gotta go back and read the other one again so I can fully understand it. It's just freaking confusing. I mean, just flip the pages at least. I don't care if it's black and white. I read The Walking Dead, that's in black and white. So it's really not that bad, the fact that it's black and white. It's just from back to front sometimes can get me uberly confused.
Well, that's the Japanese style, and they wanted to keep it that way when they brought these other mangas over here.
True.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, listen, they're being nice enough to share their talent and their art and their artistic stuff with us. And the least we could do is read it the way they create it. So I kind of agree with that. So,
like, there are some mangas that do read front to back instead of back to front, but to me, I don't like that at all.
yeah,
I don't like
I
it at all.
think
It's like, it's not the traditional style that's supposed to be read in. Why would you switch it up?
I guess. Okay, so tradition outbeats comfort in this case, and in this case alone. So stick with tradition, I guess. But actually, thank you God. I notice a lot more people actually flow towards mangas because of anime. So a lot of people actually do read comics. They're just not like DC or Marvel. They're manga. And I'll tell you the truth, manga. First of all, I don't know. I say it both ways because both ways I guess are right. every week at Midtown when I order my comics, I have to say 22 books are released that are mangas. 22 this week alone. This Wednesday, coming up next week, 22 manga books are coming out. Last week, about 20. In 2 weeks, about maybe 19, 20 again. So, the population of mangas is pretty large. You know what I'd love to get? The Legends of Zelda mangas.
Yes, those are good. I only have a Majora's Mask.
I actually, for some reason, I forgot why I got this and how I got it, but I have the manga based on the first Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, sweet!
It's actually pretty good. It also cracks me up that Donald and friggin' Goofy are in a manga, but that's.